November 16th is a very important day for Métis people in this country. What you likely know is that there was a man by the name of Louis Riel who was an iconic Métis leader. What you also likely know is that he was tried and convicted of treason against Canada for his role in 1885. What you don't likely know is that many other Métis families were impacted by those events of 1885. You also don't likely know that other Métis people and their families stand as convicted treason criminals for their participation in those events of 1885. I come to you today to try and help bring that sense of reconciliation for the families that were directly impacted by what unfolded in the history of 1885 and how we're living with the generational impacts today. My name's Keith Henry. I'm the president of the BC Métis Federation. I'm a Métis person. I live in British Columbia today, but my ancestry and my family is from Batoche and from those historic events that unfolded over the months leading up to May of 1885. So within that area was my great-great-grandfather Maurice Henry and his wife Blandine Ross. Now Maurice and my great-great-uncles, or his siblings and sisters actually, they were all played a role within the Northwest resistance of 1885. They fought, they were directly in the conflict. Maurice himself was known as a sort of a bit of a leader at the time. He was deeply involved. His brother Pierre, my great-great-uncle, was active in the conflict on the ground fighting. And so these individuals played a key role in that. His wife, Blandine, her dad was Donald Ross. Donald Ross was a captain of one of Louis Riel's military brigade. Now, in his case, Donald, because of his part in being such a strong military person of the day, he killed a Canadian soldier, or a few of them, and they found out who he was, but one particular one was a guy they referred to as Frenchie. And because he was so popular, when they found out who Donald was, after finding him wounded, they stabbed him several times with a bayonet. On the other side was my grandma, the Slaters. Her parents were absolutely in the middle of the conflict and were there with their family from Saint Laurent. So when I look back at the history and we realize my own personal connection, I'm trying to say I don't know your stories, but what I'm saying is these stories are important to me because I believe it's my job now in my work today to bring justice to what happened to them. There are some Métis people that think, well, we don't want to let government off the hook. I've heard that for years. But let them off the hook for what? Justice delayed is justice denied. Louis Riel was not a traitor to Canada, nor was my family, nor was my 3 relatives that were also tried and convicted of treason in the fall of 1885, alongside Louis Riel, that most people don't even realize. Our work today should be to exonerate our leaders. Our work today should be to exonerate our families. Our work today should bring truth to what happened of these events. This was not some great military defeat by Canada as it was emerging as a country. It was like bullies picking on a poor set of people just trying to protect their way of life in an area that Canada clearly wanted from them. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have to live in this world together today, but at a time of reconciliation, we must demand that exoneration and justice is achieved for our ancestors. Well, in my time, I will ensure everything I can do that we commemorate the families and the individuals most impacted by those events of 1885. There was hundreds of our families that were impacted. And I think it's up to all of us to own this. We need to force the government and our partners and all of us to think about what does exoneration mean and why wouldn't we want exoneration? Why are there voices in our own community questioning that? It makes no sense to me. I know that our family will never feel healed until that reconciliation comes for us. So as we move forward, I would just encourage you this November 16th and any future November 16th to remember, if we care about reconciliation, as we all talk about in society today, some of us have difficult pasts that we have to tell the truth about. And so today is my truth to you. And I just hope you join me in working towards exonerating our Métis people that should be exonerated and not get lost in misunderstandings and in political debate about this. What's wrong is wrong, and it's our job to make it right.